Oh! Sorry! You all right? Sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you.
Mom.
You're what?
Alcohol.
There's alcohol here?
Protect it.
Bastard zombies and getting the alcohol. Weird one. All right. Oh, thank God.
Thank you. You saved me.
The house of the dead. Welcome to my Halloween edition of Arcade Reviews. Halloween's one of my favorite times of the year. I get an excuse to look at some of my favorite games. I guess I'll need to wait till this time of the year, but everything from, of course, my all-time favorite like Doom to Quake, Dead Rising, Fatal Frame, all kinds of great games. I love these games. Not a whole lot of true Halloween arcade ones. Of course, there's Splatterhouse, which is like a rip-off of Friday the 13th. And then there's what I'm going to look at today. And today we're looking at House of the Dead. Now, Sega rolled this game out in 1996, and there's been a lot of sequels. I've even seen ones in modern arcades as recent as just a few months ago. And we're going to begin here with the first one and see if after 24 years it still holds up. Now, the story is that Dr. Kurian, who works for the DBR Corporation, wasn't that a dance game? Oh no, wait, that's DDR I'm thinking of there. He's the director of research for the corporation. He wants to control life and death. So he's created some bioengineered monsters that he's released onto his staff so he could test the monsters. One of the researchers calls her fiance, Thomas. That's our character, who comes in guns blazing. And if you're in two-player mode, if you got someone standing next to you, you're going to be accompanied by his assistant, just known as G. G? Really? I know they like you to feel like you are the protagonist, but just G? The other character, Thomas, he has a full name, but player 2 just gets one shitty letter, G. Anyways, things have already gone to hell when you arrive at the mansion. Yeah, in 1996, games were obsessed with bioengineered monsters taking over mansions. So, you get out of your car in such a rush you don't even close the door, and then you pretty much stare at the scientist as zombie attacks and mortally wounds him. Suddenly, you remember you have a gun and shoot the zombie. Let's talk about these controls for a moment. This game isn't easy to get to work on modern systems. I'm using a modern TV here, and light gun games were not designed to run on them. They took advantage of the old school refresh system that CRTs used. And as a result, they never quite work right. You can look up online to see full details of how light guns worked in the 80s and 90s, but basically it comes down to, as it draws the screen, it'll light up a pixel when you pull the trigger, and if that's in front of the camera on the light gun, it knows you hit the shot. Well, unfortunately, modern TVs draw the whole screen at once, so that doesn't work. Now, there are a couple ways around this. The easiest way is to just use a mouse. Makes the game a lot easier, but it works, it's quick. You could also get a trackball. I have one on here. It does the job. It's a little bit harder to use, but if you really want the classic experience, you have to get a light gun system that works on a modern system. There are dedicated ones out there. What I use on mine is a Wii remote with what they call a dolphin bar. It looks like a Wii sensor bar, but it connects by USB. So as a result, it'll just turn it, it'll take and detect your movements and treat it just like it's a mouse. Which is why you can still see my crosshair, because it thinks I'm using a regular mouse. But back to the game. Simple enough, shoot zombies, shoot objects, even shoot the things they throw at you. That's important because you want to shoot those out of the air. And then of course you aim away from the screen to reload just by pulling the trigger. It's fun because you can shoot off the limbs of zombies and make them drop their weapons. And it's a very natural control system. You can also save the scientists that you see. If you're quick enough and accurate enough, you can save them for bonuses. Some of them will give you extra health. Others will give you key cards and even shortcuts to get through the levels faster. Others just run away and they don't give you jack shit. But you do get a bonus at the end of every level for how many you save. Now, I like this mechanic. As opposed to games like Terminator, where you can just sit there and just keep firing and hit anything because there's nothing to worry about. Here you gotta make sure you don't kill the scientists. And then you don't have that stupid escort mission with the truck where Connor dies every 20 seconds. And I die enough as it is. I don't need to have to worry about keeping him alive. The enemy variety is actually nice. You have the typical lumbering zombies. They're easy. Some of them might actually throw stuff at you like axes. There's ones that have chainsaws. What's nice, that's where you want to blow the limbs off of them so they drop that chainsaw. Others will pick up barrels and throw at you. And there are even ones that have metal claws. Remember, these are bioengineered, not just your typical zombies. There's animal ones that were created. Monkeys that jump around like crazy and attack you with claws. Frogs that come at you. And even large maggots. And I hate those maggots because they attack in waves. And you can only shoot the ones in the current wave, even if you can see the others. It's rather annoying. Yeah, most arcade games, they only had 3 or 4 different enemies. But on here, you have all kinds of different enemies. It's nice to have that variety. You know, it's not like Bad Dudes, where you just have a palette swap of the same ninja 20 times and nothing changes. Oh, look, I beat a red ninja. Now I beat a gray ninja. Yeah. In this one, it changes, and it changes as you go through the mansion. When you reach each level, and the closer you get to Curian, the more advanced and mechanical they become. And the levels, they're well done. You start out on the grounds, and you want to get inside the mansion. This can be done 2 ways, depending on if you kill or save a certain scientist. Then you move inside, then it's up to the top floors. before finding your way to the labs. It's nice you have multiple ways to go, depending on if you shoot open certain doors or if you save the scientist. And this can make the game much easier or harder depending on your skill, and depending on, you might want to take some of the alternate ways for whatever reason. As for the bosses, now, the bosses are unique in this game and they don't feel cheap like they do in so many others. When you come up against a boss, it will give you a screen showing their weak spot. You have to target that weak spot. And of course you go through multiple stages, they change up their attack, becoming more aggressive, and you can basically enjoy the whole thing without having to worry out. Because the biggest thing is, you got like, here's the weak spot, shoot for the heart, shoot for the head, whatever, except for the final boss, that one you're kind of on your own. Now this game does have one of my pet peeves. Makes you fight all the bosses the second time, all right in a row at the end when you get to the final boss. And I hate games that pad out the length. Luckily the game's strong enough otherwise to keep me going and want me to keep going past there. But all this is really done is to eat up your quarters before you hit the final boss. But you do get to watch Kyrian go down like a little bitch at the hands of his ultimate creation. The final boss is a pain, but I'll leave it for you to find out, or just watch my whole playthrough I did while testing the game. There are also 3 possible endings to discover depending on your score. Once again, I'm not going to give you all the details on the ending. I'll let you find those. I do have a playthrough both on my YouTube and Facebook that will tell you, you can see my playthrough. But what do I think? Well, the graphics are great for 1996. I mean, it's blocky now, but it's still great. Voice acting is terrible. But that's how most of the games, I mean, first of all, this is a Japanese game originally, so you're going to have it. Nice variety of enemies. Probably my second favorite rail shooter after Area 51. There's new versions still coming out to this day. With HD graphics, very nice. Controls, how much easier can you get? Point it at the screen, pull the trigger. Need to reload, reload. You don't have to worry, you're not sitting there going, okay, here's block, here's this, here's that. You don't have to worry. But yeah, it's a game that if you see it, or one of its modern versions, I highly recommend you play it. It's really fun when you have someone with you, but even on your own, it's great. So, thanks for joining us, and while I deal with the zombies again that were taking my alcohol, take some time to like, subscribe, and comment on this and other videos I've done. Make sure to share them. Help us spread, help this channel grow. You can also support us on Patreon. Links down in the description, and that just helps us to up what's left. Now, excuse me, I need to go deal with this while I have some alcohol left.